Hey guys, this is Kim Constable, and this video is to show you how to track your macros and your calories and your food on MyFitnessPal. So the first thing you're going to want to do whenever you log into MyFitnessPal is to go down here to these three little dots on the bottom right hand corner and click More. When you click More, it takes you here into your menu. Now I have a premium account. You can get a 30-day free trial of a premium account, which is all you should need in order to complete the 4-week shred. So I would highly recommend that you sign up for a premium account just for the 30 days of this shred. So once you're in here, the only thing you're going to need is nutrition. So you click on nutrition, and this is where you can change your grams or percentages, or you can tailor MyFitnessPal to your own personal goal. So what you're going to do is if you click on anything that's blue, it brings up the it brings you to a place where you can change that value. So you're going to click on carbohydrates, and it's going to show here that I've already put in that the goal for carbohydrates is 90. Now, if I click on that, I can change any of these that I want. So you can actually set a daily goal, which you don't want to do. So here, if I click on carbohydrate, then obviously I can change the grams that I want to eat here. Now, you don't want to have percentages on. A lot of times the percentage will be on. We will use percentages in this 12-month Sculpted Vegan program, for example. We work out our calories, and then we split the calories into percentages. You're not doing that here because we're not working on calories, we're working on grams. So you want to always make sure that grams are chosen. So here is where you change all of the values that you're going to eat every day. So if my carbs were say 90, then I would change it to 90. If my protein was say 180 grams, then I would say go to, okay, let's say 180 grams. And fat is obviously going to be 0 because we're not counting fat. So once those are worked out, you click here, and then that updates your daily goal. Now it does say the calories here are 1080. A lot of people panic whenever they see that because they think, oh my God, that's too low. But what you're not taking into account is that you're going to be eating heaps and heaps of cruciferous vegetables, and you're also going to be eating fat from the tofu. So your calories are actually going to be higher than this. This is just the total of calories you're going to get from your carbohydrates and your protein. So please do not panic. Once you have done this, then you're going to click this arrow up at the top, and then you're going to click the arrow again, and it's going to take you right back to the home page. Then you click the home button down here, and that's you now here on your home. So if you want to add some food, so this is what I usually do whenever I am planning my food. I like to plan it in advance. So to add food for the day, you can either just press this little button, and this will take you to a quick thing. So you would click food, and then you would put in breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's a really quick way just to add something to your diary that you've eaten that day. But what I like to do is click diary here down at the bottom, and then I like to plan my nutrition for the rest of the week. So I would click this button up here, which is the arrow, which will take me to tomorrow. So here I'll say, okay, what am I going to eat? Let's plan this nutrition in advance so that I can get these macro and calorie and protein and carbohydrate balances correct in advance, so I'm not playing catch up at the end of the day. So I'll say, well, tomorrow, what if I had some oatmeal for breakfast? Now, whenever you start to input food into MyFitnessPal, it remembers the food that you have put in. So this is all the food that I have put in the past. This is kind of my most, my stuff that I obviously eat the most, or stuff that I play around with the most. So you can see at the top, the things that I eat the most will always be at the top. So I'm going to say, well, tomorrow I'm going to have some oatmeal. Okay. So, and how much oatmeal am I going to have? Well, what you want to always do is choose the serving size. So you can see here it's 1 milliliter, 1 fluid ounce. These don't make sense to me. So I'm just going to choose a cup. And then I'm going to say, well, what if I had 0.25, which is a quarter of a cup? Now you can change this to a decimal if you want. You can see here, you can take a quarter, a third, you can change it for every single food. It's not like you choose it once and it stays that way across the board. You can change it for every food. So you say, okay, I'm going to have a quarter of a cup of oatmeal, and you look and you say, oh, okay, it's only 81 calories. That's great. 14 grams of carbs. It's not too high. Only 1 gram of fat, but not very much protein. So I would say, okay, well, I'm going to add a scoop of vanilla cream protein powder to porridge. I'm not going to add oat drink. I'm not going to add any linseeds. These are things I would add in bulking season to make my porridge more calorific. So when I click on this little button up here, and that adds this to my breakfast. Now, what I then do is I check up here. And I say, oh, okay, so this means that I have 153 grams of protein left to eat, and I have 75 grams of carbs left to eat. So this is like a dartboard, right? This deducts the calories from the daily total. So whenever you're playing darts, you start with a high number, and then as you throw the darts, then those darts, then the score gets taken off your score that you were given in the very beginning. This works in the same way. So then you say, right, okay, well, what about snacks? Well, I definitely know that after the gym, I'm going to have my protein shake. Now, I normally like this one here, okay? Raw vegan chocolate brownie. This is my favorite protein powder from the Protein Works. However, it's higher in calories than the raw vegan cream one. Now, you can see here, I've actually got 2 scoops in. So if I change this to 1 serving, then you can see it's got 110 calories in 1 serving, okay? Now, this is actually saying it has 111 calories in 1 serving. I don't know why that is. Maybe the Protein Works have changed it. So there you are. No, actually, I tell a lie. This one is actually better in the porridge. That's why I normally have it with the porridge, because obviously who wants like chocolate mint porridge? Not me, definitely not. Okay, so I am going to add, you can see here the frequently paired foods down at the bottom. I am going to add 1 scoop of this after my workout, and then I look and I go, oh, okay, hang on, 128, there's a lot of protein still to eat. Maybe I will have 2 scoops of this. So then I go here and I change it to 2 scoops, and then I click up here. And you go, oh, this is great. Only 103 left to eat, and I've still got 73 grams of carbs. Result, okay? Now, I don't ever put any of my supplements in here, okay? This is just raw vanilla protein blended with water and my supplements, but I don't add the supplements. And obviously, because I'm blending it with water, I don't add that either. So then I say, well, what am I going to have for lunch? Okay, well, for lunch, I think I'm going to have a whole block of tofu. So I look at the back of the tofu and I realize that there are 280 grams in a block of tofu. So what I want to do is I want to change the serving size. So you can see here some crazy person has put in 2,800 grams, 28,000 grams. Don't know why that is there. So I think, well, I'm just going to put in 1 gram because that makes it easier. And then I'm going to multiply 1 gram by, I'll go to decimal, by 280. So you can see here, 280 calories, 280 grams, serving size is 1 gram. So I think, okay, perfect. I'm going to add that in. So then I look down here and sometimes it'll give me, different, do I want to add beluga lentils? Do I want to add sweet potato? I think, no, I'm just going to have tofu and vegetables for lunch. So I'm going to dry fry or air fry this tofu, or just fry it up in a little water with maybe some tamari, some, cilantro, some coriander, whatever. And I'm going to add loads of green vegetables. So the only thing I need to track here for my lunch is the tofu. I don't need to put in the green vegetables. I don't need to put in any of the, the water or the tofu, what's it called? The tamari or cilantro or anything like that. So this is my lunch tomorrow. So then I look at the top and I go, well, this is great. I still have 69 grams of carbs. I still have 70 grams of protein. So how am I going to play around with this, right? Well, I haven't put in dinner yet. So let's play around with dinner. Now, your food is going to be very, very, very limited and kind of same-ish and boring, because you're really doing an athlete style shred here. Whenever we shred for competition, we really eat the same food every single day. So you really are just eating like an athlete in the 4-week shred. So I think, okay, what about if I had a sweet potato for dinner, right? So I'm going to put that in here. Now, here is a word of warning. Make sure you weigh your sweet potatoes, because see here, serving size. So it has 100 grams, 1 ounce or whatever. You can actually just put in, if you do a search for a sweet potato in MyFitnessPal, it will bring up 1 medium sweet potato, 1 large sweet potato, all this. You don't know what is medium or what is large. So you must weigh your sweet potato. Do not eyeball it. Do not guess it. You must weigh your sweet potato. So here, if I weighed my sweet potato and it was 300 grams, then I would obviously put that in, and then I'm going to click the wee check at the top, and that's going to add it in. So then I look here and I go, ooh, only 7 grams of carbs left, and I've still got 64 grams of protein. So at this point, you could say, right, okay, well, what if I add in some more tofu? Let's say I have another block of tofu with my sweet potato and I have millions and millions of green vegetables. What is that going to do to my day? And you're saying, oh, okay, great, only 4 grams of carbs. Now you have eaten quite a lot of fat. This is why I say maximum 2 blocks of tofu in a day, because there is a lot of fat calories there. 35 grams of fat is quite a lot on a shred. So, but you've still got 32 grams of protein left. But if you decided, you know what, I'm happy enough to have 2 blocks of tofu today, but you've still got 32 grams of protein left to eat. So what I would say, well, what if I had another protein shake before bed? And what if I just had 1 scoop? Let's change this here. If I just had, nope, that's 21, 1 scoop of choc mint brownie protein just before bed. What is that going to do to my totals? Ta-da! Look at this. 7 grams of protein left, 4 grams of carbs. So, and you can see you've actually gone 274 calories over what is your recommended daily calorie intake. So your recommended daily calorie intake, you see, is 1,080 calories, but what you've actually eaten is 1,080 plus 274. So you've actually eaten 1,300, nearly 1,400 calories. So people panic about the calories, but you don't need to panic about the calories, okay? Because you're totally getting your calories because you are eating fat calories as well, but we don't track them because people always go over in their fat calories and they'll have like a teaspoon of peanut butter that'll turn into a tablespoon, or they'll have, just, put too much oil, they'll measure a teaspoon of oil to fry their tofu and it'll end up being a tablespoon of oil or whatever. So this is how I like to plan my food. And if you're happy with that, you say, okay, that's what I'm going to have that day. So you say, okay, what am I going to have on Tuesday? Oh, Monday, sorry. Yeah, so I was planning Sunday there. So you'd say, what am I going to have on Monday? So you would plan the whole thing again. And I always like to add in, okay, well, after training, I'm going to have my protein and I'm going to have 2 scoops. You know you're going to have your protein every single day after training. So you can go on ahead and put that in every single day if you want. Okay. So then you say, well, I was happy with the oatmeal for breakfast. So let's put in the oatmeal again. Got it there. Frequently paired foods. Okay. Scoop of that. Throw that in, there's breakfast again. So then you could say, okay, well, lunch, yeah, you know what? Happy to have tofu for lunch again. So let's just do the whole tofu thing. I can scramble it, I can take it to work, I can put loads of vegetables with it. Perfect. Okay, so now you're planning Monday's food. So then you think, okay, well, dinner, like I can play around with dinner a little bit. Oh, actually, I put that in the wrong place. If you need to delete, just swipe right and just delete. Dinner. So let's put it in snacks, actually, just to make sure it's in the right place. So 2 servings, put it in there. Okay, so dinner then, so you can say, well, I don't know if I want to have sweet potato today. What about if we have some black beans, right? So you're looking to say black beans. Okay, well, what would happen? How many serving sizes here? 1 gram is the serving, 100. So you're having 100 grams of black beans. So you put that in and you look, oh, still 55 grams of carbs, still 63 protein. Thinking that's fantastic. I could probably have a few more black beans. So let's go back in and let's see what would happen if we had 200 grams of black beans. So you put that in. Or actually 220 I put in. Oh, still 40 carbs left. Fantastic. Love those. Okay, so what would happen? You go back in if we had 250 grams of black beans. Oh, look at that. You still got carbs left. Black beans are fantastic. They're absolutely amazing because they're very low in carb, but they are very high in protein. So then you say, okay, well, what would happen if I had some lentils with that? So let's try beluga lentils. What about if we had 75 grams of lentils? What's going to happen? Still 18 carbs. Fantastic. Let's go back in. What if we had 100 grams of lentils? Do you see how you have to kind of just play around with this? Wow, still doesn't push me over. I've still got 13 grams of carbs. So let's go back in. We could have, let's try 120. This is where the scale becomes your best friend. 120 grams. I bet you we could have 125. Let's play around. 125. Ta-da, 8 grams of carbs. So for dinner, you're having black beans, you're having lentils, but look, you've still got 38 grams of protein left. So what I would do is I would have black beans, lentils, I would have heaps and heaps of spinach, of broccoli, of, asparagus, whatever you want. And then before bed, because I always get hungry before bed, what about another little protein shake blended with ice and water? Look at that. Okay, you're thinking, 12 over on protein, maybe a little too much protein. Now, I wouldn't care, to be honest. If I saw that I had gone 12 over on protein and 6 under on carbs, I would leave that as it is and I would just have 1 scoop. But you could go back in and say, oh, actually, you know what? I put in 2 scoops there, did I? Yeah, I put in 2 scoops. Okay, so what would happen if we just had 1.5 scoops of protein? Let's try that. There you are. Look at that. Couldn't even get more perfect. So we're having 1.5 scoops of protein before we go to bed. We've still 7 carbs to eat with 1 gram of protein under. Really, you couldn't get more perfect than that. So there is your food planned for Monday. So you go through this process and you plan for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Thursday, and then you prep your food. So once you've planned in advance, you prep your food and you always look at the totals here. Now, if you ever want to check what you have left for the day, let's see if we can do it. I don't know whether we can do it on a day that isn't today. Quite often, if you turn your phone to the side, look, if you turn your phone to the side, it shows you here exactly how many calories, carbs, and fats you have. So that's a really quick way just to check how many calories, carbs, or grams you have left. And then if you just turn it back again, it just goes back to the day view. So I hope this was helpful. This is how we plan our food in MyFitnessPal. I'm just going to turn the camera around so you guys can see me. So this is how we plan our food. You have to plan in advance. People say that it's really hard and like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? You just plan and play around with it. You know, what happens if I have 100 grams? What about 50 grams? If I had 20 grams? So you just have to be get confident with playing around with it. Once you have your values in there, then you can just play around and match your values and then just prepare the food on a Sunday a week in advance. And another thing is, don't get caught up, don't get stressed. You don't have to hit, you know, the perfect values every single day. If you're a little over on carbs, a little under on protein, a little under on protein, a little over on carbs, don't stress. Just don't stress. Just walk a bit faster or get on the treadmill for an extra 10 minutes and burn off the extra calories. Really is not going to make much of a difference. So I really hope this helped, and if you have any questions, be sure to put them underneath this video in the private Facebook group, and I will see you all again tomorrow, and I'll be dropping loads of these videos on you each week and answering all of your questions, so never stress, you are not alone. This is Kim Constable, and I will talk to you soon.